Hi guys, welcome to Insert Type. So today I'm going to be talking about my long rivalry with common sense. Now, common sense does not come easy to me. It's not common to me. It's not my first resort. I think the way most people view common sense it's as a default of thought. Now, ENFPs, I think fundamentally the way we're made just makes us not really default to the same default that everyone else does. And even if we think we're defaulting, it's not the default. Um, so it's a very hard thing to come by. Like, yeah, common sense doesn't really happen for me. I've accepted it at this point, and to a certain extent, I kind of don't appreciate how weaponized that concept is because it just shows a narrow thought, or for me it shows that. But I understand that for some people it could be that they have seen multiple scenarios happen the same way and then they're like, okay, this tends to happen this way, so let's just make it a general rule. But to weaponize that and kind of cut off every other thought process doesn't seem fair to me. So how would I explain my thought process instead of common sense? I would use the example of a remote. Let's say your remote stopped working. So you would say, okay, yeah, is it switching on? Is the red light switching on the remote? And you kind of start this thought process of like yes or no, and depending on those answers, you go down a certain branch, and you ask more and more questions until you're down at the root of the whole situation. So I would ask, okay, is the red light on? Is the signal showing on the TV? Okay, if it's no, is it broken? Does it seem broken? Is the signal showing on the remote itself? Yes, the light is still showing, which means that, okay, maybe it's still working, but for some reason it's low battery. Okay, what happens if I step closer to the TV and click it? And I mean, press the remote. Will it work? Oh, it's working. Okay, maybe the batteries are starting to die because the range is reducing. So that kind of thought process, like for most people, I think the route they would go to would be like, oh, something's the remote's broken. That's how it feels. Like common sense should be like, oh my god, the remote's broken. Okay, what broke it? Who broke it? Um, Whereas for me, it's more like I cut the problem into like tiny pieces of questions that might seem irrelevant if you're trying to follow the thought process as someone who hasn't really been in the mind already, in my mind already. You're kind of like, why did you jump to that question immediately? Why didn't you ask first, is the remote broken? So yeah, I find common sense to be kind of like a difficult thing to follow. So I just don't conform to it. Um, and I feel like it's kind of a way of isolating people as well, like people who are different thinkers, like who don't think in a conventional way. And when you think about it, like the way um the way I usually function the best, or let's say you give me a problem and you want me to solve it, the way I function is I would take that and I would be like, okay, I'll fix it for you, but not if you're watching me. I'm not gonna do that while you're watching me, because it's it's so chaotic. Like watching an ENFP solve something, it's a chaotic looking process. Looking, not a chaotic process. To us, it seems like a natural progression of these questions and answers just coming and moving. It's very dynamic when you are in it, when this is your natural mode of functioning. But if you're looking from the outside, this person just looks zany and they're jumping from this and this and this and they're touching everything. Why are they touching everything? So it's kind of um I realized this for myself, and I was like, okay, you know what, I function like I solve things better when people are not around. I don't do great with teamwork as well because same thing, same reason. Their common sense way of solving the problem and the demeaning way in which they look at my problem solving process just kind of annoys me. So I'm just like, nah, let's not. Um, so I kind of just take those things, fix them myself, and then yeah, just disappear. But yeah, I don't think it works that well for ENFPs as well. Like when you think about it, NE, it's a broadening function. Like it's something that takes in a lot and it needs a lot from the world to function appropriately. And then FI, it's a very personal attachment to one's own methods. So I feel like common sense is in a way like a judgment of, oh my god, the thinkers are gonna kill me. Common sense is in a way to judge and limit someone's mode of being and someone's nature in a way. Like it's like, okay, you should be like this instead of the way you are. But just coming from someone who has tried to be like everybody else and who has tried to figure that default out, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Best thing we can do is to just accept that they're like we can find a solution and we'll find ourselves there. But to expect that we're gonna take the same route as you, you're gonna be acting like Boo Boo the Fool. So yeah, I think that's the video for today, guys. Hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love comments. I want to know what's going on. What are you thinking? And yeah, okay. Let me know if you have any suggestions of what you want to hear me talk about or whatever. Just drop it in the comments and let me know. Bye bye. Have a beautiful day.